out. They're going to post him up a ton. They flank him with multiple shooters. And Kofi dominated John Hara and the Nittany Lions last year. We'll see what happens this time.
Yeah, these two teams met up twice last year. Coburn had 44 in those two games. Hara had just 4. So here we go, the only meeting this season between Penn State and Illinois, and it's the Illini to start with it. Coming off a really impressive win against Michigan. Got 27 in that game from Coburn, got 26 from Plummer.
I thought it was the most complete offensive performance that I've seen from the Illini this season.
That was Plummer who took it to the rim. He's gotten the job done mostly outside. Hitting 14 threes over the last 2 games.
That's ridiculous.
We had some stretches like that.
It's been so long I've forgotten, but maybe.
Penn State, meanwhile, really disappointing loss for them against Nebraska. A turnaround jump shot goes for Jalen Pickett, their leading scorer.
Yeah, and even though he is their point guard, he's probably their best option in the post. At any time, he can break it off, turn his back to his defender, and shoot from the mid-range.
They lost to Nebraska on Sunday. Nebraska came into that game 1-16 in Big Ten play and beat Penn State by 23. And it was a Nittany Lions team that had been doing some good things. They won 3 of their last 4 games going into them.
Yeah, it's impressive. Although, you know, this is the Big Ten. You can't take any opponent lightly. And what did Nebraska do after that? They followed it up with a win against Ohio State.
Corner 3 for Trent Frazier. Top 5 scorer in Illinois history. And he knocks down the first bucket of the game for the Illini.
And Kofi Coburn is their best player, but I'd argue that Trent Frazier is their MVP. He plays 36 minutes a game. He can play point guard, shooting guard. He is their leader.
Feels like he's been there forever, too.
Him and Brad Davison.
The 5th-year seniors in the conference. Dalian Johnson gives it outside to Greg Lee, who's missed a bunch of time this season with injuries, hoping that his return can give him a boost.
Yeah, he missed 15 games because of those injuries.
Dante Williams off the heel. Long rebound to Frazier. He finds Jacob Grandison. Back-to-back threes to open the night for the Illini.
Well, Jacob Grandison and DeMonte Williams are going to have their fair share of open threes tonight. We were talking with Penn State's head coach Micah Shrewsbury. You have to pick your poison with this team. They don't want to allow Kofi Coburn to go for 30, and they don't want to allow Alfonso Plummer or Trent Frazier to beat him either.
Well, that's the problem, right? Because Coburn's a monster, and so you've got to help. But then Illinois leads power conference teams in threes per game. They hit more than 9 per game. As everybody gets put in that box, right? You got to choose somebody to leave alone.
There's no question. Yeah, unless you're Purdue and you got 2 guys like Zach Edey and Travion Williams to deal with Kofi.
In deep to Coburn, got fouled by Hara, and 2 shots coming up for the big man.
Sometimes I feel for all the players that have to try and stop Kofi. You know, conventional wisdom doesn't work with Kofi because he's so big and so powerful. His footwork's so good as well. He's an intelligent basketball player. I've really enjoyed watching his progression over his 3 years in Champaign.
Yeah, Micah Shrewsbury told us today, Casey, when he talked to John Hara about defending him, to your point, said, look, there are no rules. We're not going to front him. We're not going to necessarily play him one way every time. You just do whatever you got to do, and we're going to give you help each time, too.
And that's really the only way you can do it. No rules. You figure it out. You find a way. And John Hara, you mentioned, only scored 4 points combined in his 2 matchups against Coburn. I think he could do a lot better, but his assignment is defensively to at least make Kofi work tonight.
Coburn has his first 2 points. 8 straight for the Illini. 3rd consecutive 20-win season for Brad Underwood's team. Defending conference tournament champ. Here's a tough shot. Seth Lundy knocks it down. Some contact as he hoisted it. And the first triple of the game for the Nittany Lions.
Wow, what a difficult shot that was. Seth Lundy is a guy that can change this game with his 3-point shot. Penn State's going to run a lot of 5-out motion and stagger screens away for their shooters.
Penn State, the most reliant team in the conference on the 3-pointer. They get their first one tonight, cutting it to 3. Trying to finish Micah Shrewsbury's first season on a high note. Frazier launches. Too strong. Rebound Coburn. Up in traffic. Grab it out, and it was pulled down by Hara.
That's one that Kofi would like to have back. He buried John Hara underneath that charge circle, that semicircle underneath the basket. There's nothing he could do.
Not too many guys in the country that can bury John Hara.
Seriously.
Yeah. Here's Lundy. Size advantage on Frazier. Grandison comes over to help and gets the block. Plummer pushes. Grandison turning the corner, but losing the handle on a turnover.
Still the right play. That kick-ahead pass, Joe, that's my favorite pass in all of basketball. What do I mean? Instead of dribbling the ball up the floor in transition, kick it ahead and really put pressure on the defense to build a wall. That was just a turnover, but just because he fumbled the pass.
Couple subs into the game for Illinois. Coburn sits down. Hawkins comes in along with Omar Payne. Harry getting his first rest. Now for Penn State, they want a low-scoring, slow-tempo game. Like Shrewsbury tell you, this is the style they have to play with where the program's at this point, talent-wise, to have a shot. Miles Dredd into the game, wearing 2 for the Nittany Lions. And they've done what they've wanted to in that regard pretty consistently this year. Lundy short this time. Well, the record's not where they want to be. They're in just about every game because of that style.
That's a good point. Penn State has won 7 Big Ten games this season. 5 of those wins have been in the 60s in scoring. That's where they needed to be tonight.
Not good bounds there. Illinois with an early 8-5 lead. The under-16 timeout underway in Champaign.
Saturday on Fox. Number 11 Villanova looks to gain some steam heading into the Big East tourney as they take on Butler. Saturday at noon Eastern on Fox.
Fox Wednesday.
Oh my gosh, look it!
The good, the bad, and the cuddly.
Can I have another hug?
The Masked Singer premieres this Wednesday on Fox.
The Google Pixel 6 for all the Bucks fans, Serbian fans who became Nuggets fans, Heat fans who want to get rid of photobomb fans,
Magic.
Woj fans, Top Shot fans, all the Nothing fans.
Are you taking a photo of us?
Is that okay? For that once-in-a-lifetime shot, and fans seeing it up close for the first time. There are so many ways to love the NBA, and the Pixel 6 is built for all of them.
Kids love visiting California! But parents like it too. Like a lot.
They go bonker!
Totally. It's an adventure. Oh, you have to keep an eye on them. You gotta let them explore and figure things out for themselves. So hurry up. They're not gonna stay this way forever.
Kick off your California vacation at visitcalifornia.com.
Mayor.
We bring flavor.
Whoa. Citizens, Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda is the loudest flavors ever. Flavor, flavor, flavor.
The rules are just like horse, except instead of horse, it's half off breakfast orders in the Wendy's app.
Shoot the ball, Erica.
There's a lot of letters.
She's already got HALFOFF.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's. Official breakfast of March Madness.
This year reminded all of us just how quickly a world can change. We learned that it's time to be impatient when it comes to the health of those who matter most. It's time for new treatments and innovations that help those we love. Right now, it's time to find equitable solutions that improve the human condition. It's time for the first medical school built at the intersection of engineering and medicine. It's time for the Carle Illinois College of Medicine at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign.
How about what Alfonso Plummer's done lately? 14 threes over the last 2 games, back-to-back 26-point performances for the Utah transfer.
He is the hottest shooter in America, and obviously when you're building a roster, talent is important, but the other important question is, does the talent fit together? And if you're going to have Kofi Coburn as your centerpiece, which you should, you have to flank him with fantastic shooters. And I'd argue there's no better and more dangerous shooter in the country than this young man right here.
And so for good reason, he's our player to watch, sponsored by Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
I was trying to think of all the Illinois snipers over the last 25, 30 years, like guys like Corey Bradford, Luther Head come to mind, D. Brown. But Alfonso Plummer is only going to play 1 year, but depending on how he finishes this season and how he does in the NCAA tournament for the Illini, he could go down as a legend.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance, if he goes on another little tear like this, that he would finish #1 in the single season charts. Really good chance he reaches #2. As Curbelo comes in and promptly turns it over.
And he's already 4th most made 3-pointers in a season. 88 as it stands right now.
So Penn State with it again. Here's Jalen Pickett. Siena transfer. Backs in on Frazier. Gives it up to the corner for Dalian Johnson. 3 that won't go. The rebound tipped into Grandison. Illinois, one of the top rebounding teams in the country.
That was a high-risk play there from Andre Curbelo, number 5 in white. On defense, sometimes he'll just completely leave his man to try and gamble for a steal. They were fortunate that 3 didn't go down.
High risk, high reward, 5 in white. He is fun to watch.
I'm with you on that. Absolutely.
The job Brad Underwood has done. He's in his 5th season. First 2 years in Big Ten play, Illinois was 11 and 27. Over the last 3 years, 42 and 16.
He's overseen the best 3-year regular season stretch of Illinois basketball in school history. That's the most wins in the Big Ten. The next step for them, of course, is a deep run in March.
There's Curbelo, pops out. Grandison the offensive rebound, and they'll reset it. Here's Payne giving a little bit of room. Oh, spin in a phone booth, and the left-hand finish.
He was given that ball in the middle of the lane and looked around like, are you guys sure you want me to do something with it? But he is skilled enough, obviously.
This guy who transferred here thinking he was going to be the guy inside, because at that point, as Pickett gets fouled shooting the 3, Kofi had said he was leaving. Kofi obviously comes back. Payne's had a secondary role, but he takes advantage of it here.
And what does he do in practice? He goes against Kofi every single day. And if you can score against Kofi, you can score against anybody in the Big Ten. Really nicely done there.
Transferred from Florida. Jalen Pickett transferred from Siena. Leading the Big Ten, 2nd in the country, playing 37 minutes a game. And we talked a little bit, Casey, about the style of play that Penn State uses. This is the guy that allows them to do that, kind of that old man game, never in too much of a hurry.
One of the slowest tempos in the country is Micah Shrewsbury's team. The Nittany Lions ranked 353 in tempo. There's only 358 teams in the country. They are comfortable late in clock. And to your point, Joe, Jalen Pickett is comfortable. The type of guy who Micah Shrewsbury describes as emotionally mature. He never gets too high, never gets too low. And so, yeah, when there's 5 seconds on the shot clock, which happens a lot with Penn State, you put the ball in Pickett's hands, and he's going to make a play.
Caleb Dorsey comes in. They say he even walks slowly. He's even got a measured walk to him.
They call him Old Man Pick. But he still takes his daily midday naps.
Yeah. Uncle Pick, they've called him. All those endearing nicknames for the senior out of Rochester, New York, who makes just 1 of 3.
Don't hate on those midday naps now.
Those are important. If you can get those, you go too long though, and they can ruin your day. Right. You just wake up groggy. Coleman Hawkins way outside. It's a guy who's played with more confidence, perhaps a little bit too much of it right there. Sam Sessoms into the game for the first time. He gets cut off by Curbelo. Has it again here. His 3 rattles out. Out of bounds. Last touch by Penn State.
Sam Sessoms, the smallest player on this Penn State roster at 6 feet tall, but he's a senior. He's been around. He's a really efficient scorer. Comes off the bench. He's a 3rd leading scorer off the bench. He's got a ton of potential. They could really use his scoring punch today.
They got a lot of guys. I mean, no superstars on this team that are going to go get you 30 points in a game, but they've got a lot of guys that get you a dozen. They've got a lot of guys with experience. And the style that they play means that, and this is the case in the Big Ten, right? There are no nights where you say, oh, we feel really good about our chances and we'll be just fine. Penn State comes in and you're taking them seriously.
No question. They're tough, they're old, and they're going to give themselves a chance on the defensive end, right? This is one of the best defensive teams that Penn State has had in over a decade.
I think that was part of what was so odd on Sunday against Nebraska. They give up those 93 points. They've been so good on that end. There's that shot clock winding down. Caleb Dorsey drains a 3 and cuts it to 1.
Again, the decision from Jalen Pickett, just playing pitch and catch. You draw 2 defenders, make the easy pass.
Corbello, wraparound pass to Hawkins. Got the defender off his feet. Corbello able to track it down in the corner. Fresh possession for Illinois. Hawkins drives this time and gets his first points.
You mentioned Coleman Hawkins a couple possessions ago, Joe. He's kind of found his place again in the rotation after his playing time really took a dip in January and early February. He was not playing a lot. I'm not sure exactly what the reason why, but lately, last couple of games, he's been awesome. Gives them nice versatility at the power forward position. Nice pump fake. He had an awesome follow-up dunk against Michigan. That kind of encapsulated what he's been, you know, kind of the change that he's made. And I think he's thinking a little bit less on the floor.
He said, too, some tough conversations with Brad Underwood about the little things, about practicing hard, about the energy. And he's been a different guy the last couple weeks. Growing confidence, and he's still just a sophomore. There's a runner from Pickett, and there you go. Beating the shot clock horn with his second bucket tonight.
That's that old man game. That's old man pick right there. One-legged runners in the lane with bodies draped all over them. He's gotten this team off to a really nice start.
1-point game here at Champaign as Plummer gets a little bit of room. It's almost jarring to see him miss the leader that he's on right now. 14 threes the last 2 games. That's a foul on Pickett.
Well, after a slow start, the Nittany Lions offense has woken up a little bit. And it's no surprise that Jalen Pickett, their senior leader, getting it done. We got a 1-point game.
Kyle Larson took home the checkered flag at Fontana. Now we're bringing the party to Sin City, where a star-studded list of winners look to cash in again. The NASCAR Cup Series from Las Vegas, Sunday at 3 Eastern on Fox.
Dad, we got this.
We got this.
Let me check out the town, okay?
We got this.
We got this.
We got this. We got this.
We got this.
Life is for living.
We got this.
Let's partner for all of it. Edward Jones.
Hey, hon.
Hey.
Want to do some laundry?
Some laundry?
Your Roman delivery came.
Oh, laundry. We can do that.
Want to do our taxes?
Oh.
Honey mustard.
We have to go.
Whatever you call it.
Want to do it?
Be ready with Roman.
Okay.
Roman makes it simple and convenient to take care of ED. So when the moment's right, you're ready. Roman ready.
The baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey, competes in her first ever match on SmackDown. It's an all-new Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox.
Hi, I'm Shannon Storms-Bador. When we started selling my health products online, our shipping process was painfully slow. Then we found ShipStation. Now we're shipping out orders 5 times faster. And thanks to ShipStation's discounted rates, we're saving a ton. Honestly, we couldn't do it without ShipStation.
Join over 100,000 online sellers who get ship done with ShipStation. Go to shipstation.com/try and get 2 months free.
ButcherBox. We deliver high-quality meat to your door. What happens next is
Up to you.
Tie game early on in Champaign, and during this timeout, here's Brad Underwood.
Hey! Hey! When they don't stop, when they don't guard you, listen. When they don't guard you, move it the first time. Then we get into a rhythm. Then you get your shot. Gotta keep guard. We can't allow middle of the court. Okay?
I agree 100%. Not a lot of ball movement on the offensive end for the Illini. Penn State is packing the lane. They're daring the Illini to settle for threes, and it's worked. Just 2 for 7 from deep so far. And then the second part, they can't allow the middle of the court. That's obvious, especially with Jalen Pickett. Keep him on one side of the floor. You're going to have a lot better chance of making his touches and shots difficult.
Kofi Coburn back into the game for Illinois. So is Plummer, who connects with his first 3 of this one. Back-to-back 26-point games for the Utah transfer.
And Illinois, one of the best teams out of timeouts in execution. They draw up a simple double stagger screen for their best shooter, Alfonso Plummer, who drills it.
And a backcourt violation.
And watch. He's number 1, Seth Lundy. He emerges and doesn't have a lot of space. I mean, that's like 5 or 6 feet of space. It's still a tough closeout. Seth Lundy is 6'6", closing out on Alfonso Plummer, who's 6'1", but he just needs a sliver of daylight.
And if you're Lundy and you're chasing him, you get bumped a little bit by that screen. You just know you're thinking, Curbello's first 2. So Illinois out of a timeout. 5 quick ones, Casey.
Curbelo coming off that 12-point, 3-rebound, 3-assist performance at Michigan, I thought was a nice step for him, right? If they can get a back to normal Andre Curbelo, this team is going to be a Final Four contender.
Sam Sessoms knocks it down. He was the guy that a lot of people liked as one of the breakout stars in the Big Ten this season, but missed most of the first 2 months with concussion-like symptoms. And then once he came back, had to miss a couple more because of COVID protocols. It's just been stop and start, yet to really get his footing. Short this time.
I call it the sophomore leap. Most freshmen, don't know what they're doing. They've never been on a weight program or a nutrition program. They've never played against adult, guys who are more physical and tougher. That sophomore year is where you see the most. Wow, Lundy. We talked about his defense. Well, he can do that with his offense. That's his 57th made 3 on the year. That's the most made 3s for any Nittany Lion.
Penn State, 3 out of 6 from outside. They've got to hit 3. It's typically to have a shot. They have so far in this one. Plummer rises. And halfway down and out this time. Another example of him needing just a sliver. Sessoms is right on him, and he's still pulled.
When you're guarding Alfonso Plummer, if you're a defensive player, you have no help responsibility anywhere else on the floor. You face guard him and make sure that he doesn't step into easy 3s.
Greg Lee against Luke Goody. Lee over the left shoulder with a hook shot, and Penn State takes the lead.
How easy was that? If they're not going to scratch or dig help on Greg Lee, that was a practice shot, and Lee's capable. 8 points, 7 rebounds a game.
It's another guy who, when he's been on the floor, has been effective. It's just had a hard time getting any rhythm, getting any momentum going because he's been out so much.
Well, this Penn State roster, they've only had their full healthy roster for 6 games this year. That's it. And this is Greg Lee, who certainly can make a difference in any game, but especially in this one where John Hara is going to need some help slowing down Kofi Coburn. Anything they get from Lee on the offensive end is a massive bonus.
Curbelo ties it at the foul line after a foul on Lee.
Curbelo letting the hair out in this one. The last couple of games he had it in braids. He's a little bit more aerodynamic in those.
This one, larger surface area to draw fouls with.
Sure.
Finds himself at the line. The new do. Illinois back in front. This is back in the game as Curbelo takes the seat.
Clearly the pace of this game favors Penn State. You know, they're the formula for slowing down a game, Joe. You got to keep your turnovers low, right? Because if you do that, then Illinois can't break open the game on the break. You got to milk the clock. You got to get good shots. Some offensive rebounds would certainly help. And they got to guard the three. They've done all of those things pretty well up until now. Can they sustain it?
Back to Pickett they go with the shot clock winding down. He's short this time. And a rebound tipped out to Williams.
Kofi Coburn has only shot one ball so far to get him a touch.
Coburn shot it once. Hara hasn't shot it at all. Here's what we know. Coming up talking about those guys. Only 2 guys in the conference averaging double-doubles. Getting deep to Coburn this time, but he couldn't corral him.
There was just 3 bodies in front of Kofi Coburn, and Jacob Grandison, number 3. His defender is backing off and guarding him at the foul line, which makes that high-low pass extremely difficult.
Shrewsbury was saying we're going to help. It's just a question of where do we help from? Who do we take our chances with? Here's Lee. Size advantage on Williams. Turnaround fadeaway off the front of the rim. A steal by Lundy, but he stepped on the sideline, and it stays with Illinois. Final week of the regular season in the Big Ten. The Illini and the Nittany Lions in a 1-point game.
Doug. We gotta tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. And we gotta do it fast.
Woo! 34 miles per hour! New personal record, Limu!
He'll be back. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
He knows. He knows Chipotle's chicken is responsibly raised without antibiotics. And that Carlos here grills it fresh all day long. But you don't need to know all that to know that real food just tastes better. Chipotle, for real.
Corona vibes bursting with tropical flavors. It's a match made in hard seltzer paradise. Introducing the Corona Hard Seltzer Tropical Pack. It's the flavors of the fine life.
At JP Morgan, the only definition of wealth that matters is yours. It can be a smaller house, but a bigger nest egg, a goal to work toward, or the freedom to walk away. With 200 years of experience, personalized advice, and commission-free trades on an award-winning app, we're working for you. Planning, investing, advice. JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Reese's eggs are back, and we hit them somewhere you'll never find. Psych! We put them everywhere. Grocery stores and supermarkets, gas stations, and chiropractors' offices, bowling alleys and grocery stores, which we already mentioned. Reese's.
Sunday, Big Ten rivals wrap up their regular season on Fox. It's Ohio State and Michigan, Sunday at noon Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. This is what it looks like right now if the tournament were to begin today. Penn State trying to stay out of that first day. Right now is the 10 seed. We went through some Illinois scenarios. For the win tonight, they would clinch that double bye. If they win tonight and they win Sunday against Iowa, they would be the 2 seed. Unless Wisconsin loses to Nebraska. And that seemed a lot crazier a week ago before Nebraska went and it beat Ohio State. Still, it would be surprising if Nebraska was able to pull off that upset. With Illinois looking at a double bye with a win in one of their final 2 games. Shows the NCAA tournament resume looks like this. Our Mike DeCourcy, bracket expert, has them as a 4 seed. That is a terrifying 4 seed.
Seriously.
Right?
Yeah, this is a Illinois team that most people think is a top 10, regardless of the ranking today. I know they're ranked 20th. This is a top 10 outfit when they are fully healthy, when they are playing to their capabilities. No one wants to see Kofi Coburn, Trent Frazier, and Alfonso Plummer in their bracket, no doubt.
Jacob Grandison, line drive of a runner. Coburn, the offensive rebound on a third try, tips it in. Illinois dominating on the offensive glass, outscoring Penn State 12-0 in second chance points.
Yeah, that's how you have a lead, despite the fact that no one really has a rhythm from the outside. They're just shooting 8 for 21, but those second chance opportunities are a nightmare. If you're a Penn State fan, you got a game rebound.
Pickett feeling his way, fading. Not this time, foul on the rebound. Goes on Penn State. Here his second.
Coburn just playing volleyball on the backboard here. Just throwing it up, and if it doesn't go in, nobody for Penn State is tall enough and big enough. Even John Hara, one of the strongest guys you will ever see in real life. No way.
There were 3 or 4 Penn State players around him, and it didn't matter.
I mean, Kofi is putting up stats that match guys like Kevin Durant, Tyler Hansbrough, Blake Griffin, to name a few in the last 25 years. A statistical monster.
And this has been one of the great programs in college basketball last few decades. They haven't had a guy put up his kind of numbers as Williams hits the 3, 20 points, 10 rebounds per game in 49 years. Nick Weatherspoon, 1973, the last Illinois player to average 20 points and 10 boards. It's a 9-0 run for the Illini. The lead back to 6. Here's a deep 3 from Miles Dredd that won't go.
Nice closeout there from Kofi. He knows that Miles Dredd, the one thing that Dredd can do for this team offensively is shoot the 3.
Grandison left alone. Penn State got away with it this time.
I mean, the Nittany Lions are selling out completely defensively to take away Coburn touches. They're going to allow Grandison and DeMonte Williams to shoot all they want.
Greg Lee steps outside and buries the triple. 6'9", showing off some good range there. Penn State 50% as a team from outside, staying in the game, down 3.
2-3 zone here from the Nittany Lions.
They attack it with Coburn, who is fouled on the floor.
They mostly man-to-man, but they will sprinkle in zone to kind of throw a softball, throw a change-up pitch at him, and also to protect against Kofi. John Hara is on the bench. Michael Shrewsbury told us if John Hara is on the bench and Kofi's in the game, they're probably going to play some zone. Have a better chance of surrounding Kofi down there. You'll see Illinois run their man-to-man offensive sets against it.
Grandison can't hit it. Use the word change up there. If Penn State was a pitcher, they'd be an old soft-tossing lefty jump ball, wouldn't they?
You're the baseball guy, Joe. Tell me.
It seems like it.
A knuckleballer?
Could be, yeah. Lee again from outside. A little bit short this time, and Grandison streaks in there to get it.
Again, impressed with Kofi Coburn's ability. That's a backcourt violation. Bad mistake there. Impressed by Kofi's ability to close out defensively. To me, that's the one thing that I think NBA general managers are wondering about. If you look at Kofi, if you go on the internet and look at NBA draft boards, you won't find him on many first round or even second round picks. And I think it's not at all because of his offensive shortcomings. I think NBA teams are asking, can he guard other smaller perimeter players in pick and roll?
Lundy knocks down a jumper again in traffic. He's done that a couple times tonight.
Yeah, he's a guy that really, even though he's got 2 or 3 defenders around him, he's got that calm presence, and it doesn't change his shot motion at all. It's actually really hard to do.
Leading all scorers with 8 points, down to a 1-point game. Williams open again, knocks down another 3. DeMonte Williams usually on the floor for his leadership, his defensive grit, but he's knocked down a couple threes in this one.
DeMonte has not scored more than 2 points in his last 4 games. This could be a night where he can have 20.
That feel from Pickett.
And even though it's a 2-3 zone, they're going to put Kofi in a pick-and-roll situation, running their man-to-man sets against it. Ball movement, player movement.
Williams short this time. Foul on Frazier, trying to get around the screen.
So Jamonte Williams, he's going to have to step up and make some of these if Illinois is going to get some separation. And the reason they haven't gotten any separation, Jalen Pickett still going to work. 2-point game.
What drove us to create the most rugged Honda vehicles yet? It's the courage to challenge convention, the will to succeed, and the joy of conquering the toughest trails. Rise to the challenge with the Honda Pilot and all-new Passport Trail Sport.
With crispy bacon and fluffy eggs and melty cheese. Ooh. Beast mode doesn't have to stop for breakfast. Give in to the new Bacon Beast breakfast menu at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's and feed your happy.
Think about the best night's sleep you've ever had. At Tempur-Pedic, we're dedicated to helping you sleep like that every night, so you get the deep, comfortable, undisturbed rest you deserve. Experience the mattress ranked #1 in customer satisfaction by J.D. Power 3 years in a row.
What do we want delivered every month? Clumping litter, salmon pate. Love that for me. Choose the frequency and ship it. I feel so accomplished. Now you can pet me.
Get fast, free shipping for all your pet's needs. Chewy.
Let's go on the open road with a safe stay. Now get double Best Western Rewards points on every stay. And with rewards points that never expire, you get free nights fast. Book now at bestwestern.com.
USAA is made for the safe pilots, like Matt, who can come to a stop with barely a bobble. With USAA Safe Pilot, when you drive safe, you can save up to 30% on your auto insurance. USAA, what you're made of, we're made for. Get a quote today.
I'm a Ganiac, check my drawers. My clothes smell so much fresher than before.
Try Gain Flings and you'll be a Ganiac too. The only detergent with OxyBoost and Febreze.
Oh, you're doing it wrong, man.
What's wrong with action figures?
Nothing. Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies.
Whoa.
I look good in miniature. Capital One Shopping. What's in your wallet?
Hey, coming up on the FS1 College Hoops Halftime Report, Ohio State and Michigan State both trying to turn things around. Houston keeps sailing below that radar, and conference tournaments are already heating up. We'll have it for you at the half. Right now, Joe and Casey, back to you.
Okay, Mike, it's been a good one in Champaign so far. 20th ranked Illinois with a 27-25 lead. And the biggest reason they're in front right now, Casey, they're dominating on the glass, outscoring Penn State 12-0 in second chance points.
Yeah, this has been a close game, but you're right. The battle on the glass hasn't been close at all. Illinois is dominating it. The best time to shoot threes or off offensive rebounds. And how about here? Omar Payne, look what I found. Puts him in the spin cycle. Beautiful move there. And then Kofi Coburn only has one made field goal. Here it is on the offensive glass. No offensive flow or rhythm for Kofi or anybody else really in an Illinois uniform. Credit Penn State for making this game really messy.
This is what they do.
It is. They weren't able to do it against Nebraska. They got pumped by a Nebraska team that dropped 13 threes on them. They responded.
Greg Lee stuffs it down and ties it up. What a nice return it's been for Lee. His second game back and a potential difference maker for them.
And you know Greg Lee's looking over at Illinois' bench. He sees Kofi Coburn sitting on it, and he's like, all right, I'm attacking the glass for ducks.
Hawkins, they dared him, and he couldn't hit it. Rebound Lundy. Here comes Penn State looking for the lead.
Corbello trying to match up with Lee down there.
Huge size advantage, 6'9" against 6'1". Good hands from Corbello. Lee takes it right back into him. A kick out for Dredd. Way short. Corbello lobbing for Hawkins. Couldn't put it down. Found Goody, who couldn't can the three. Dredd's there to pull it down. Stays tied at 27, 2.5 left here in the first.
That's more of the tempo and style that Corbello especially wants to play. Get out in the open floor where they can utilize the full 94 feet of this basketball court. I don't know of any team in America, Joe, that enjoys playing in the half court all the time. It's not as much fun. There isn't as much space to work with.
Again, it's Lee with Corbello on him inside. Instead, outside, a three goes for Pickett. And Penn State takes the lead.
You can see why he leads the Big Ten in minutes played, right? He does a little bit of everything. The leader on the floor. He's a vocal guy. He can play both ends of the floor. He knows exactly what Micah Shrewsbury wants.
Diving to the floor, Lee was able to get it to Lundy. Back pick by Williams. Another guy who you could say those things about. Does whatever the game calls for, whatever his team needs. Into Corbello. A 3-point game inside the 92nd mark.
And now back to man-to-man defense for Penn State.
Corbello well short. Goody found it. He misses as well. Illinois has gone cold.
Defensively, what are you trying to give up? Contested two-point jump shots. And the two shots that Illinois just took on that possession were both contested two-pointers.
It's a foul on Plummer.
Pickett has just controlled things on this end of the floor in pick and roll, just drawing two, and the Goody was too slow on that rotation, and then also again Goody giving them space. And, you know, that's a shot that you want Jalen Pickett to take. He's just a 30% shooter, but he's feeling a rhythm now. We're going to step aside.
And I'm on a roll.
Reese's eggs are back, and we hit them somewhere you'll never find. Psych! We put them everywhere. Grocery stores and supermarkets, gas stations, and chiropractors' offices, bowling alleys and grocery stores, which we already mentioned. Reese's.
Brad Underwood not happy. His team down 3 to a Penn State team that just got beat by Nebraska by 23.
You know, Brad Underwood wants guys that are coachable, and he has guys that are coachable. He says you can't have a good program if you can't coach your best players and demand more of them. That's what he demanded of Ayo Dosunmu last year and Kofi Coburn this year. It doesn't matter if you're the star or the 12th guy off the bench.
Under a minute to go in this half. Here's Pickett leading all scorers with 10. Got underneath, found Lee, let it stolen by Williams. Devontae Williams on the push, draws the foul. Devontae Williams, in a lot of ways, has been their best player in this half so far.
Yeah, he's a smart player. Okay, coming in, he only averaged 4 points a game, but last year he was one of the best three-point shooters in America. Has kind of just lost his confidence a little bit midpoint of this season. He shot 55% from three a season ago. But again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is the type of game that DeMonte Williams can have 20 points. But Penn State has made it clear that they are saying, DeMonte, if you score 20 today, you'll beat us. If you can't, this is going to be a 1 or 2 possession game.
Down to a 1-point game, 8-second differential between game and shot. Shrewsbury says, hold on.
it simple here. Pick it, and great lead. Pick and roll. That's all you need. Or 1-4 flat. You could just let Pickett go to work here, too.
It's all Pickett so far. Corbello waits for him. Under 10 to shoot. Here comes that screen from Lee. He pops and travels. With Corbello sizing him up. Turns it over. Illinois got it with the shot clock turned off. Timeout taken by Brad Underwood with 13 seconds. Hard to believe the madness starts next week here on Fox and FS1. Watch the top teams and best players compete for their conference championships. Got the Big East tournament beginning Wednesday from Madison Square Garden in New York City. And the Pac-12 tournament from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Coverage starting on March 10th. Fox and FS1, your home for college basketball. Pac-12? We get to choose which bracket we showed, Pac-12 or Big East. We went Pac-12 because we'll be there. Yes. And I know we can't wait.
Oh, my goodness. This is going to be so much fun. And how good is Arizona? They're the 1 seed, but they are the number 2 ranked team in all of America. What a story. Tommy Lloyd, his first ever head coaching job, and he's turned Arizona into an offensive and defensive juggernaut. Who is going to challenge them? Will it be UCLA and USC, or will there be a team like Oregon? Remember last year, Oregon State came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Not only won the Pac-12 tournament, but then got to the Elite Eight. Did not see that coming, Joe.
So here we go. Final possession of this first half. Really trying to take the lead into the break. It's Corbello instead of Frazier. Andre Corbello goes behind the back, nifty dribbling, tough shot, tip wouldn't go, and this half ends with Penn State in front. Nittany Lions with quite a bounce-back performance through 20 minutes. After the ugly loss on Sunday at home, they lead 20th-ranked Illinois 30-29.
I'm not going to call it a perfect first half of basketball for Penn State because they didn't make every shot, but they shot over 50% on offense and